Hey, you guys, what's up? It's your girl, Kamisha. I am the founder of EBK Events. We are a full service event planning firm located here in the New York City area. We provide event planning services, consultation, and also event activation for many brands and companies here in the New York area. Okay, so you guys, I really want to talk about one of my favorite topics. One of my favorite topics, I was watching a clip online of a young lady. She was talking about how so many companies, approach her in terms of asking for sponsorship, and they don't even know their ask. They don't even know what their why is. And I really love that conversation because so many times, we want to get sponsorship, but we don't know how to go about it. So I wanted to take this opportunity to talk about it. How to get sponsorship and brand deals for your business. Because let's be honest, right? Sponsorship opportunities increases your visibility, right? If you are able to acquire sponsorship for your business, it also provides you with an opportunity to collaborate with other brands, like-minded brands, and really tap into their customers as well. So, and of course, it's a great cash flow for many businesses. So I'm going to be very brief as possible in terms of kind of like my approach to getting sponsorship and my experience. As you guys know, I said that my business was established in New York. So New York is very, very competitive, and it's very expensive as well to host events, to plan events, or whatever the case may be. So for me, I always want to connect with brands. I always want to connect, with anyone or decision maker that can, collaborate and make stuff happen. So I remember when I started my business, which was like 7 years ago, you guys. Yes, 7 years ago, I didn't have a blueprint. Okay, I didn't have no one to do any of these videos to tell me how to go about getting sponsorship. Right, I had to learn the hard way, trial and error, hitting the street and falling on my face. Okay, but anyways, so basically, sorry guys, I'm getting a call in the middle of my conversation. Okay, so anyway, so basically for me, when I started my business 7 years ago, I would host brunches, like women empowerment events, a lot of different events, just to get my name out there and build my clientele as well. And so I would work with a lot of different venues. I would work with different chefs and stuff like that. And so I remember one year I wanted to go big. I was talking to myself, and obviously I didn't have a big team, but I had, my friends or whatever, and my family at the time who believed in me. And I told them that I want to bet on myself, and I want to host a conference. And they was like, okay, that sounds good. Where you gonna host this conference? I said, I want to go to the Hilton. I want to host a conference at the Hilton Hotel. And I did. And guys, fun fact, which is amazing. Today is the anniversary of my grandmother's passing. And my grandmother, and I have a picture to show y'all. Hold on. Oh, 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 That's her right there, y'all. Yes, yes. Okay, you guys, I am back. I was interrupted, but I had to take this call. This was actually one of my clients. We were working on a huge deal. I had a agency that actually called me to confirm some stuff. So this is happening in real time. Oh yes. At least I'm able to show y'all the behind the scenes and what really happens when it comes to event planning. Like I legit do this for real. But anyway, so as I was saying, so I was hosting this. I wanted to, honor my grandmother. And the beautiful thing when I hosted the event at the conference, at the Hilton Hotel, when I hosted it there, it was amazing because my family and I, we were able to get my grandmother. She couldn't walk at the time, so we had to wheel her in, and she sat all the way in the back of the room, but she was so proud, and she was beaming with such proud to see her granddaughter years later hosting a conference in the place where she was a maid, where she worked 30 plus years. So that was just a beautiful story that I wanted to share. All right, so back to what we're talking about, right? Back to what we're talking about. So basically, when it comes to sponsorship, right? And as you guys are thinking about, how do I even attract? I'm a small micro influencer. How do I even attract a sponsor? Or how do I share my story? with a brand, you want to think about that. First of all, you got to have heart. You got to know why you started this business, why you're in this space, why you have this product, and why I love it, and why it will resonate with a like-minded brand. Why it will resonate with a like-minded brand. Fun story. We are working with a client right now, and we're trying to acquire different sponsors for her, and it's been really tough. Let me tell you, these brands, they're not playing. They're not shelling out products or monetary sponsorship if they don't feel a connection to you, if they don't feel a connection to your cause, to your mission. So for us and for me, I do a lot of outreach, and it took a long time getting one yes. But you have to be so confident in your vision. You have to be confident in whatever you're creating and really stand for it. And I think that when you're speaking to a brand, even before you send that, email, you have to pray over it that it reaches and it touches someone on the receiving end, whether that's a marketing executive, whether that's a CEO of the company. It really you have to talk about your mission. You have to talk about the reason, your why. And that resonates. I think, so many of us, right, we can attest to the Risa Teaser story. Not to make this about relationship or whatever the case may be. I haven't followed it. Obviously, we all see it trending. But I think the consensus to what this young lady spoke about was that connection. She felt a connection to this guy, and over time the connection grew, and whatever the case may be. And so you have to do that when you're connecting with sponsors. Not saying you're trying to scam sponsors now, okay? Don't take that from this conversation. No scamming allowed. I want y'all to stay in business, but you really have to connect with your sponsor and really talk about your brand. Because remember, partners, business partners, sponsors, brand deals, they're not buying necessarily into the product or the service. They're buying into you. And so many times we hear that a lot, but we don't believe that. The personality that I have and the way that I work my business is people, the right people, will see it. Those organic, authentic people, decision makers, whether you're talking about in the city government, in the corporate space, or the private sector, they will always be aligned and they will always love what I provide because I speak from the heart. That's how I was able to build my business 7 years ago. But real quick, as we talk about how to get sponsorship and brand deals, one, you have to research the organization that you're prospecting. You have to be an insider. You have to be very knowledgeable as to what's going on in that company. How can my brand, my business, my service really amplify whatever you guys are doing there, or the turn and the pivot that you guys are undertaking, how we can amplify it or how we can support it at our event, right? You got to really research, prospect, and you have to have a list of prospecting companies that are like-minded. You don't want to have a product and you're pitching to a brand that there is no synergies. For example, you have a health and wellness brand, right? You have a budding health and wellness brand. You want to host your first event, first live in-person activation. Well, you can't really hit up Patron or Darion. You know what I'm saying? Like, you cannot hit up a liquor brand or something that's so unrelated, just because they're willing to sponsor or whatever the case may be. You have to understand where the synergies are and where you both can amplify. So that is one factor. Another one is knowing your why and knowing whatever your ask is and also your deliverables, right? So you got to be able to deliver on the services that you're providing. Whatever is in your sponsorship deck, right? Whatever is in your ask, you got to be able to deliver. You can't skim, you can't scheme. You got to be able to deliver because remember, your credibility is on the line. All right? So I think that's that. In terms of more tidbits, I might do a part 2, but I just kind of wanted to talk to you guys about how to really get sponsorship. And you can. It doesn't matter what stage your business in. Once you have once you have an idea or something that's tangible and that really seeks to impact and make a difference, you can get a sponsorship for that. It's just about research, it's about prospecting, it's about staying in the long game, right? And it's about not devaluing the sponsorship, because not everything has to be monetary. Bye, you guys.